Today is the 4th day of November 2022. Welcome to my podcast. My name is Vasu Obaseki, and as always, it's an immense pleasure, tremendous pleasure to be able to share my thoughts, express myself, and maybe you and I could learn one or two things. I hope your day has been fun. I hope your week has been fun. It's more like the last day of the working days of the week. And some people would say, oh, thank God it's Friday. Yeah. Thank God it's Friday. So this is a second part of my initial podcasts titled Apologies. I got some really wonderful feedbacks and I was hoping to do a second part for that same topic because it's a topic that really touches me. Like, it's very important to me, and it's important that we need to treat it, extensively. I know with the way the world is going now, people get careless about the next person. Most things are automated. 3 steps to become successful, 5 steps to get out of jail. We always want the microwave way of doing things, and we forget the fact that if we were dished out the same energy we dish out, we might not really like it. Anyways, so before we proceed, I just want to give us dictionary meaning of an apology. So according to Dictionary Oxford, it says a regretful acknowledgement of an offense or failure. So you are being regretful that thing actually happened, and when you're remorseful about stuff and you apologize, it means that you are willing to change. You are willing to, do it better. Also, according to Mind Tools, it says an apology is a statement of remorse that you make when you've done something wrong. It can be very difficult to apologize, but saying sorry can do a lot to preserve and mend relationships. Now, I had a conversation with a friend on Twitter, and we chatted, and we had a list of things that we wrote down, and she also made a thread out of it. So I'll just read it out and let's see if it makes any sense to you. She calls this backhanded apology and non-apology apology. Only God knows what this one is talking about. Okay, these are statements that don't express remorse as an apology should. Like the regular, you know what I'm talking about. It's a form of gaslighting, and according to a research, gaslighting sometimes could be trying to make someone invalidate somebody's feelings, trying to make somebody feel wrong for feeling that way, trying to make somebody see things, or trying to make somebody believe that what he saw was not what it was, or what he heard was not true, or what he feels is not valid. That's gaslighting, and it's very dangerous. It's very dangerous. It's very, very dangerous. And it's a way of trying to get away, with things. Anyways, it's a form of gaslighting equal to emotional abuse. The abuser pretends to apologize and wins the argument by blaming the other person subtly. I am sure some of you know this. Sincere apologies can renew trust. It can build fondness and, make a relationship stronger. And some of us don't recognize these statements as insincere. We want to be expressive and then end up using words that shouldn't be used. Now examples of non-apology apologies. Number one is, I am sorry if you are pissed. Like, how would you tell me you're sorry if I'm... Human beings. Okay, so she says, this is how we actually, after the conversation, she concludes it, she does her write-up. She says, I'm sorry if you're pissed. This is number one. It said, this is conditional. You're not accepting the fact that you hurt a person. You're guessing, which invalidates how the other person feels. The fact that you had to apologize in the first place means something went wrong. Own up to it. Come on. Number two is, I'm sorry, but a lot of people do this. They want to, let me just read it, don't worry. There shouldn't be buts if you're apologizing. You're making excuses for where you fell short. Adding blame to how a person feels isn't nice. Third is, I was just kidding. A lot of people do this. And it disgusts me. Like, this is justifying your behavior. It hurts the other person. Don't just argue. Just apologize and move on. Number four says, So this sounds like you are owning up to what you did at first, but it means you are minimizing the impact of what you did, like demeaning it, and dismissing the pain it costs. It contains like zero apologies, trust me. Something like, I know I shouldn't have shouted at you in the public. Oh, you knew, but you went ahead. Really? So it was kind of a deliberate act just because. Makes no sense. Number five says, I will say I'm sorry if... Don't even bother saying I'm sorry. Why would you tell me that you want to say I'm sorry as in, like, are we trying to have a transaction? Like, it's a transactional statement, basically. Saying you apologize if the person promises, or if they promise not to bring it up again, or something. Like, I don't get. I've had to experience this in a relationship and it was crazy. There are times when the other person would say, it's not that deep now. Why are you taking it personal? I am hurt, for God's sake. Why would I take it personal? You should be apologizing and be like, it was not intentional now. You say if you're taking things too personal, like, come on. It's like paying to get your pride knocked off, Okay, number 6 is told me to say sorry. Without that person, you wouldn't. So, like, you offended somebody, you didn't apologize, and the third person says, go and apologize now. And then you come in and John told me to say sorry. Don't even say it at all. Come on. Are you joking? Is this playing? Don't say it. Just keep it to yourself. Not necessary at all. And then number 7 is, alright, I'm sorry, okay? Nah. This doesn't sound remorseful at all. It sounds like a threat and, it sounds really mean. I'd rather you don't even apologize at all. Like, really, I prefer you don't apologize at all. Number 8 is, I'm sorry you feel that way. Oh, really? So you are putting the blame of the person's feeling on the person. Like, you are blaming the person for feeling that way, but you are sorry that the person is feeling that. You know, you are putting the blame on the person for feeling that way, basically. You know, you're not even admitting that you made them feel that way at all. Like, it's totally unfair. You could say stuff like, oh, I'm sorry I made you feel that way. Or I'm sorry I put you in that position. You don't say, I'm sorry you feel that way. So, oh God. So let me tell you how a sincere apology actually should sound. I'm sorry I didn't listen to you. Because what you're trying to say is about you. You are the one apologizing. It has nothing to do with the person. You are the one apologizing, so you're putting yourself forward and telling the person how sincere you are about your actions and your willingness to change. Another way of apologizing is, oh, I was wrong for shouting at you. Not saying, I know I shouted at you. I know I shouldn't have shouted at you. No. Hi, I'm so sorry I shouted at you. I was wrong. I mean, you don't deserve such treatment. I apologize. You know? Another way is, how can I make this right? I am so sorry. Because you are the one trying to show the person that you are being remorseful. You're the one trying to show the person that you're trying to change. So you should be offering, solutions or requesting for solutions that will make the person feel more comfortable trusting you. And then another one is, it won't happen again. I apologize. This is telling the person that, oh, I've taken note of the hurt I caused you, and I'm promising it won't happen again, because I'm going to watch out for instances that will make this happen again. Another one is, I shouldn't have. Not I know I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have is different from I know I shouldn't have. So I shouldn't have said, it means, oh, I see what I have done wrong. Not, oh, I know what I was doing was wrong, but I did it anyways. Do you get? And the last thing I'm going to say is, just change your behavior, basically. Act right, act better. Not acting babyish and whatever, and then when one small issue come, you flare up. There are people that when they're apologizing to you, they start they start blaming you. But it was your fault. If you did not, I'm like, dude. So what makes an apology sincere? What makes an apology sincere is, one of the few things that make apologies sincere is, one, clearly acknowledging the offense. If you acknowledge that you did something wrong, you acknowledge that you were actually wrong. That's number one. Not that you were wrong because. Acknowledge that you were wrong. Number two, explain if it is needed. So if someone tells me, oh, you offended me, the first thing I would say wouldn't be, I am sorry for offending you. I wouldn't do that, because it sounds hypocritical. What the first thing I would say is, oh, how did I wrong you? Now, I'm saying this because I want to know the offense, and when we have talked about it and it's clearly an offense, because you've expressed yourself to me that, oh, what I did was wrong, I would apologize and I'll explain to you why it was that way. But telling me that it is not right, I'll take correction henceforth. So the reason why I'm going to explain myself is so you can correct me better. So if I say, oh, I turned left and I turned right because I felt it was the right thing to do, you can now tell me, oh, you should have just turned right and turned right again. Do you get? So I would take correction, number one. I'm taking correction from you because you understand how and why I did what I did. So I'm taking correction from you. and then I am apologizing. Because if I take correction, it means I'm not going to repeat myself. I'm not going to repeat that instance anymore. Do you understand? That's what apologies are. Number 3 is try to restore that person's dignity, because hurt actually takes away your dignity, and it can really mess with your mind. Just try to restore their dignity however possible. If you offended them in the public, you can publicly apologize to make everybody know that you are actually remorseful. Number 4, assure them that you're not going to experience it again. That's if you are certain. Keep your words. Express more remorse. Number 5, express more remorse. And lastly, make appropriate repairs or changes or amends. Come on. Because, truth be told, if they do you that same thing, you no go like them. Sincere apologies it's not a sign of weakness, trust me. It's just a sign that you are not a coward, because cowards don't own up to their actions. Cowards don't own up to their own mistakes. So when you apologize, make sure it's an apology. Don't make it look like, I don't talk sorry now. What you want again? Or I have apologized. What do you want? Why are you being impossible? Why you this kind of gaslighting? Why are you being difficult? I've apologized. Dude, you just said sorry because it was sorry for fun. You just tried to fulfill your righteousness. You were not really sorry. Anyways, I'm not sure I'm going to have a part 3 of this podcast, but if I get more feedbacks, perhaps part 3 will show. Have a wonderful morning. I love you and God loves you. Be more apologetic, and when you apologize, be sincere about it, because you don't know, somebody's future might just depend on it, or your future relationship might depend on it. Have a beautiful morning.